So, Ben,
Yes.
where are you from?
I'm originally from Sunderland, which is in the northeast of England, but I am now based in Scotland.
Okay, and do they all write this kind of music there?
No, I'm a bit of an oddity there too, it seems, and yeah. So, just trying to think. My tutor Stuart's been very sort of helpful in pointing me and guiding me in this particular piece, but I don't see many people writing anything quite like this particular piece.
So, how would you describe it?
Very similar to this particular one, very similar to like Hans Eisler's Workers' songs, and just that kind of character and mood and the way it sort of just pokes and points and everything.
And how did your mind get there?
I initially came across the quote from Samora and Michelle, which is the very opening one, and just because of how simple and direct it was, it just sort of felt it needed to be used for something, and I sort of found it back in August, and then so I've just been sort of sat there thinking, oh, there's something I can do with this. I'm not sure what, but there's something I can do with it. And then when I was lucky enough to get invited here, I thought this would be a fantastic thing, and I then also found the quotation from William Morris, which not only sort of complemented what Samora and Michelle had put, but also highlighted problems that existed in 1884 when he initially wrote it, but still very much exist today.
And do you usually write for an ensemble this big, or?
I've been quite lucky recently where I've got a few pieces for a similar kind of size ensembles that I've been working with Ensemble pour Trombone for a piece to be performed next month, and I've also been working with a group of amateur musicians up in the north of Scotland in Inverurie to write a big piece for choir and an orchestra of saxophones.
An orchestra of saxophone?
Yes. 30 saxophones and a choir of maybe 20.
That can be beautiful.
It can be. It can also be very loud.
So do you play an instrument?
I used to play trombone and euphonium back when I was very, very little, coming up through brass bands, but I'm not playing any, because my fingers and my arms remember all the positions and fingerings, but my lips just can't keep up.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is.
The best instrument in the world.
Exactly.
And you stop playing it.
I know.
Why?
Because there's better trombonists out there than I am.
So not you're more a composer than a performer.
Yeah.
And a listener?
As much as I can, and particularly when coming to things like this, it's just nice to hear so many different composers and so on. It's just lovely.
Yeah. So did you were a lot here when we played other pieces, right?
Yes, I'm sat in on, I think it's about 4 or 5 of the rehearsals, I think, so far.
Is there any common theme your generation writes?
There's a few tricks that sort of keep popping up, but with the group of composers we have today, there isn't that much of a particular sound or common sound, if that makes sense. So each of them, maybe there's a few little ideas like, say, whispering into microphones and so on.
Yeah.
Pops up a lot, but it's not really a...
Which you don't use.
Far too loud. Yeah, all of it. But yeah, so there's maybe a few little tricks and habits, but actually everyone aesthetically is quite distinct, which is always really lovely with schemes like this. So then we're not just listening to 10 renditions of essentially the same composer. And hearing that variety, and it was particularly the novelty is hearing Ruben and Nino, but two of them both just seem to fit together beautifully.
Yeah.
One being on a train, the other one being a murder mystery. It's
exactly.
The whole mood is wonderful.
Yeah. Does your family like your music?
Some of it, not all of it. So there's a few little things that they do quite like, but particularly when I'm getting slightly into the louder and microtonal stuff, not quite so much, but they seem to quite like my big orchestral piece from last year, so that's something, because that's sort of been the largest thing I've done. They're quite content, so...
Will you send them a recording of this piece?
Of course.
And they will be proud of you.
Yes, but they won't like it.
That's a surprise. Okay, thank you very much, Ben.
Fantastic.